بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين صلاة وسلام دائمين متلازمين إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، اللهم نسألك حسن التوكل عليك ودوام السعي إلى رضاك. جنبنا وساوس الشيطان وقنا شر الإنس والجان وهب لنا حقيقة الإيمان وارزقنا الخير الحلال. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم. أما بعد, my beloved community, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Today is Wednesday, July 29. Tomorrow, inshallah, is the day of the Arafah. It's the fasting day. And after tomorrow, inshallah, is the Eid, which is on Friday. And ICI is having two salat, one at 8 o'clock in the morning. The takbirat will start at 7:30, and one at 10 a.m., and the takbirat start at 9:30, and all the salat is going to be outside in the parking. Please check irvingmasjid.org, the website. It has the details and the things that you have to apply. Jazakumullah khair. So just a summary where we are and where we are going. So the last two sessions. So I was talking about how the Islamic civilization started, and what are the main source of the Islamic civilization, which is the Quran and the Sunnah and the life of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's where the Arabs start having a civilization after they were slaughtered in tribes, and the cause of having Islam and the prophethood of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that unite them in one nation. And then this one nation was reached the excellence at the time of Al-Madinah, where Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam built the first city and the first community. And from there, the Sahaba and the community started having a vision, and that vision was that's the vision that we are carrying until now, which is serving the humanity. Our mission is to bringing the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the world, and to take Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as our role model, and to give the right model to the humanity around us. So today, inshallah, I'm going to balance to the next, where we reach what we said last time also, that one of our main objective is to rebuild the mind of the Muslim, to be, from one side, to be proud of their civilization, from the other side, to also think about what we are going to give to the world around us, what kind of legacy we are going to leave to the world in matter of discoveries, in matter of science, in matter of scholarship. So we know that the Muslim, they slept for more than 3 centuries. So do we have to ask ourselves how we are going to come back, how we are going to move from the back seat to the front seat, how we are going to rebuild our legacy again. So it's not enough to just keep saying to the world that we have a golden civilization. And yes, our ancestors, our previous leaders, they contribute to this civilization, and they were the heroes of this civilization in all matter of building. And for sure, they got something from the previous civilization, and we already said that the civilization is not one. Each civilization will borrow something from the previous civilization. Even the Western nowadays civilization borrowed a lot of things from Islamic civilization. Just to give you an example, that Napoleon Bonaparte, when he went to Egypt to invade Egypt, the first thing he did is to copy all the fiqh al-Maliki from the scholars and the libraries at that time in Alexandria, Egypt. So, and he borrowed that, and he took it to France, and 80% of the code, civil code, of the family code is borrowed from the fiqh al-Maliki. So another, probably I can give you another example where Harun al-Rashid, at the time of the Harun al-Rashid, he gifted the Charlemagne of France and Belgium and Germany at that time. He gifted him a watch that works with the water, that runs with the water. And even at that time, his people, they didn't find out any scientific explanation to this watch, and they said, this watch, it has a jinn. So the people, they believe that the Muslim, they were trying, Harun Rashid is trying to occupy the mind of Charlemagne with the jinn that by giving him this gift. So that shows you that at one time, we were the leader of the world. At one time, we were the teachers of the world. At one time, the world looked at the Muslim, what they have done and how they want to copy them. So another example is that when the Muslims established Cordoba, and it was kind of a university, and the scholarship, the people, the governor of France, they requested their student, the best student, like nowadays we say that the best student, 10% student will go to whatever, Stanford or MIT, or at that time, the Stanford of that time, it was a Cordoba University. So the France, they used to send their smart people, smart student to study. And even this student, when they come back to France, they speak some of the Arabic in order to show that they learned something. So it's like nowadays you bring somebody from whatever, our country, he come here to America for 6 months and he go back and he starts speaking English in order to tell the people around him that I know how to speak English. It's like a big things to achieve. So it was at that time, it was at one time the other way around. The one who speaks the Arabic language is the one that is seen as a high-level class in the European community. So I said that we have to rebuild the mind of the student, of the Muslim, in order to start thinking what was the input in the mind of the scholars and what kind of output they gave to their surrounding in their time. So then we ask the question how we are going to redo that in order to contribute to the humanity. So one of the things that part of the characteristic of the Islamic civilization is the balanced. So it's the balance between the spiritual and the materialism. So Islam is not something that a religion that you have to go and live in a high mountains by yourself and make ibadah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala day and night. Even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran didn't require that. So, and Islam also is not a religion that tells you to go and work as much as hard and just work for this dunya, forget about the akhirah. So Islam is the only religion that gives this balance to the human. So because the previous religion, they were in the extreme, either too much in the spirituality or too much in the materialism. And we can see that in nowadays also. So why? Because purely spiritual life, it's undermine the work the people on the land, and it will not achieve one of the mission that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us, which is to populate the earth and to create dynamic in the earth. So that's the purpose of the Khilafah. So just being purely spiritual, it will give underdevelopment to the society, loss of the benefit of taking benefit of the universe and the bounties that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put them under the earth and everywhere to be extracted and to be used, like the iron, like the gold, these minerals that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, these bounties, these ni'am are given to the human for a reason, to extract them and to rebuild. If you go to Surah Al-Kahf, so they were asking Dhul Qarnayn to help them. Why? Because he has the skills of building. Even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he gave us a hint that Sayyidina Sulaiman, he was building his own dresses. So Islam is not something that just you go away from the society and you don't give any benefit to the society. So the pure material life also is not an answer. So because it will make the people compete, and the competition start as a competition, then it becomes wars and tyranny and oppression and enslavement to the other population. That's not good also. So Islam comes in order to balance between these two lives, either for the individual or for the communities or for the nation, between the nation. So Islam combines both in order to bring happiness, in order to achieve happiness. Islam make things, enjoy the will of the freedom within the framework of faith and morality, and will achieve this by having this mind, by having this archetype in the human, in the Muslim. It will help the society to grow in justice, security, established security, stability, compassion, love, and that's the fruit of the society when you will see this fruit in the society. And this individual who are working in the society with all these characteristics and helping the humanity around them and the people around them to bring happiness to their life. So Islam balance is to achieve the harmony of the human nature. So every human nature, every individual is looking how to prosper, how to be good, how to be excellent in his job, how to help others. This is a nature. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us that way. Islam is not, it never is not against the nature. Islam is just gives you help to do what is natural for you. So as a Muslim, as a society. So why we are saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this Islam is in between this spiritualism and materialism from one side. So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he sent the Quran, he told Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا لِتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ وَيَكُونَ الرَّسُولُ عَلَيْكُمْ شَهِيدًا. So we are sent you as the Ummah of the Wasat, the middle nation. Why the middle nation? Because we think as we are the middle, because we don't go to the extreme in any of our behavior or in any of our things. We never let things go to the extreme. Why? Because that's part of the curriculum. The curriculum of Islam itself, the Quran and the Sunnah of the Sayyid Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, did not let anybody go to the extreme. So وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا. You are the middle nation. لِتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ. What is the reason of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala making us as the ummah of al-wasat, of the middle? Because we have to witness. We have to be witness on the people around us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said, لِتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ. Not shuhada'a on your brother or on your sister or on your Muslim. And no, shuhada'a ala nas, on the whole humanity. We have this tashrif and taklif in the same time. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you something, it has two reasons. One is that tashrif, that it's an honor for you to have it. The second is taklif, which is that you have to take it as a responsibility. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, today I have accomplished your deen, and I have accomplished and completed my favor on you. So this is for you. It means that what? It means that you have to take it serious and you have to deliver it as it is to the humanity. This is normal when somebody tells you this is your kid, this is your son. The attributing the son to the dad, it means that the dad is responsible about the son. This is your wife, it means that attributing this wife to that man, it means that you are responsible about your wife, and vice versa too. So it means what? It means you are honored by that, and in the same time you have a responsibility. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us as a Muslim that لِتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ وَيَكُونَ الرَّسُولُ عَلَيْكُمْ شَهِيدًا, we are going to be witness on the people. And it means what? It means a responsibility to fix things on the earth. If you see something wrong, going in the wrong direction, you as a Muslim, you have to speak out, and you have to say the truth in order to bring these people who are going on the wrong way, to bring them to the middle solution, which is the Islamic solution. And we have made you a just community, that you will be witness over the people, and the messenger will be a witness over you. So this is just to explain how we are in the middle. And if you are in the middle, your role is to bring the extreme to the middle. So you have to figure out first who are these extreme, and then you have to bring them to the middle. And if you go and see the Sharia itself is and extracted of the Sharia from the Usul Din is that's what is the Islamic civilization. That's what is the mind of the Muslim established in the early age. That Islamic civilization is nothing than equal to science, knowledge, reason, research, and Islam praises the science and the scientist. Islam is, if you go to the Quran, there are many verses that requires the Muslim to use their mind, to use their intellect, to use the reason. So Islam is not a religion that tells you to just don't use your reason, just accept whatever is given to you. No, it's the other way around. There are many ways that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell us in the Quran, أَفَلَا يَعْقِلُونَ أَفَلَا يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. So this is inciting the Muslim to use their mind, to use their brain, to use their reason to get knowledge. Islam call to build and reconstruct the earth and taking advantage of its wealth and treasure. How you do that? Because we have to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, it tells you, فَسِيحُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ. It means what? Go and spread on the earth and find out the bounties and the ni'am of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How you do that? By going and by taking advantage of the resources given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, either under the soul or anywhere in His universe. Science was prohibited in some of the previous religion. So, like we said, some of the previous religion, because they were thinking that religion is just spiritual, so anything that comes as a discovery, they will say, this is a jinn, or this is not allowed, or this is prohibited. So why the Muslim mind, they were never questioning about that, because it was given to them in the Quran that go and use your intellect and use your mind to have discoveries that benefit the world around you. a Muslim scholar or a scientist think any invention to benefit the human is ibadah. So not only that, as a Muslim, we have to look at any things that benefit the humanity around us is not only a discovery that you are going to provide to the humanity. Let's say you invent a car, or you invent airplane, or you invent, this is for the good of the humanity. That invention itself, you are going to be rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because it's a ibadah. It's a ibadah to provide something helpful to the people and to the humanity around you. And the other way also, if somebody will provide something harmful to the community or harmful to the it's a sin. So that's why the Muslim, we said last time, that's why the Muslim, they never think about let's say inventing a nuclear bomb, because their mind didn't allow them to think that way. So what they were inventing is something to defend themselves with, but not something to create a chaos or to destabilize the earth or the communities or the people around. So why we have to say that there are some verses in the Quran that dict to us as a Muslim that use your mind and use your intellect. This is, I want to list this one verses. يا معشر الجن والإنس إن استطعتم أن تنفذوا من أقطار السماوات والأرض فانفذوا لا تنفذون إلا بسلطان. O company of jinn and mankind, if you are able to pass beyond the regions of the heavens and the earth, then pass. You will not pass except by authority of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the ulama, the scholar, they said that the authority is the ilm, is the science. So this verse is encouraging the Muslim to use all their intellect, all their mind to discover something, even if you want to go and, even if you want to go and traverse the universe. So if you have a tool, if you can create a tool that will go to traverse the universe, whatever, the moon or the sun, go ahead for it. So it means that, and there is a hadith of Rasulullah to the early Muslim in Medina, when Rasulullah told them, "Atlubul ilma walau fi Sin." At that time, China, nobody knows what is China. But to tell you that how Rasulullah, he told his people, seek knowledge even in China, which means that even if you go to how far places to seek knowledge, go for it. So it's encouraging to seek knowledge. And why? Because once you seek knowledge, so you can help yourself, you can help the humanity, with one condition, that you have to use this knowledge for the good of the people. So next, we are going to talk about the balance between this world and the hereafter. So we said that anything you do it's a ibadah, okay? But how you balance that? How there are some verses in the Quran that encourages us to yes, you have. The way I describe a Muslim dynamic daily life is he has to, it's like you are driving a car, your vision is ahead, and you have to look sometimes to the back, but you are living in the present. So as a Muslim, we have to have that vision where we are going to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are going to go to the akhirah. But in the same time, you are living in a present and surrounded with the people and how you manage your life. So, and from time to time, you glance and you look behind you to see the previous nation, the previous people, how civilization were built, how civilization they were falling, and what makes them fall, what are the pluses and minuses of each civilization, so you can manage your life better. So one of the verses that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us that yes, while you are having your vision of the akhirah, don't forget in your dunya, it's يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِذَا نُودِيَ لِلصَّلَاةِ مِنْ يَوْمِ الْجُمُعَةِ فَاسْعَوْا إِلَى ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. If the mu'adhan call for the prayer of the Jumu'ah, فَاسْعَوْا إِلَى ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ وَذَرُوا الْبَيْعَ ذَلِكُمْ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ إِن كُنتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. Leave your trading, leave anything that you are doing, and just go to them. And the good about it is when you finish your prayer, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you, فَإِذَا قُضِيَتِ الصَّلَاةِ فَانْتَشِرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ. Once you are done with your prayer, فَانْتَشِرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ. You go and spread on the earth, وَابْتَغُوا مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ. أَبْتَغُوا مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ, it's a word that is telling you work. Not only work, is work and get benefit from the fadl, from the bounties and the ni'mah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ. So these verses is teaching the Muslim to, yes, your vision is in the future, in the akhirah, to establish your future, but in the same time, you have to do your worldly affairs in the way that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did. And the other verses, وَابْتَغِي فِي مَا أَتَاكَ اللَّهُ الدَّارَ الْآخِرَةِ. This is more explicit. وَابْتَغِي. So seek the dar al-akhirah فِي مَا أَتَاكَ اللَّهُ الدَّارَ الْآخِرَةِ وَلَا تَنْسَ نَصِيبَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا. And don't forget your part of this dunya. So this dunya, you have a responsibility about your kids, your spouse, about the community, about the people that you live in, the city that you live in, and you have a responsibility toward the humanity at large. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you, وَلَا تَنْسَ نَصِيبَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا. Don't forget your part of the dunya. You have to do it. وَأَحْسِنْ كَمَا أَحْسَنَ اللَّهُ إِلَيْكَ وَلَا تَبْغِ الْفَسَادَ فِي الْأَرْضِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُفْسِدِينَ. And don't create mischief on the earth, which is this one is the side of the ethical side of it, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you, do these things, but in the same time, don't do the wrong things on the earth. Don't establish wrongdoing on the earth, so it will affect either you or your community or the people around you. And Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu, in one of his advice, he said, أعمل لدنياك كأنك تعيش أبدا وأعمل لآخرتك كأنك تموت غدا. So work for your dunya is like you are not going to die. And you work for your akhirah is like you are going to die tomorrow. So this is in order to balance, to create that balance in the mind of the Muslim, how you are going to run your day-to-day life. So now let's move to the other characteristic of the Islamic civilization, or the mind of the Muslim, how it functions, which is the idealism and the realism. So nowadays we have people who are ideal in their life, and we have people who are realistic. So either in the politics, in the economy, in the education. So you find this kind of people and you interact with them every day. So while you are having a conversation with somebody, you will understand that this is going to he has some ideals. So, and the question Islam is, and the Islamic civilization comes to reconcile between these two. So, which is, both are extreme, but how to reconcile between these two. So you never go like Aflaton, he said that we have to have a noble city, which is, it's unimaginary things that it will never be achieved, because we are human and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us that way to do the right and to do the wrong. So having ideals is okay, but it should be achievable ideals. It should not be like imaginary idealable. And being realistic on the other side also should not go to the extremes. So Islam seeks perfection and ideals, but do not put a burden on the people. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, he said, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not put a burden on a soul beyond it can bear. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is encouraging us to do good things, but in the same time, it should not go and these things become as a burden on us. That's why if you see our religion, there is no burden in it. Even the 5 prayers, that some people, they see that 5 prayers, there is no burden, because these are spread in a way that helps you in your life, where you go and you work, when you come back and you have a nap, when you go and you pray in the night. So it's balanced between the night and the day for a special reason that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us. So the idealism and the realism is it's an integrated piece of legislation for human to lead them to good and showing them rules of conduct and transaction. So we live in a society, we are human, we have a responsibility even about the other creatures, the animals, the botanic and anything around us, that we have to, we are responsible about these creatures, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make them that they are not responsible and we are responsible about. So in Islam, it's not like any other religion or any other ideology where al-ghaya tubarrir al-wasila, which is where the end justify the means, which is a pure Machiavellic theory that, okay, if I want to be rich, okay, selling alcohol or selling drugs, I want to be rich, that's good. It makes me rich. So in Islam, there is no such theory where all means are allowed, only the means that are allowed and that benefit you and they are allowed by the Sharia. So there is hadith of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, inna Allah tayyib, la yaqbilu illa tayyiba. Allah is pure and he doesn't accept except the pure thing, the pure things. So we are not as a Muslim mind how to function, and our scientists in the past how they function. They never use something wrong to reach something good. So always they use the right path to give the right ends and the right aims and the right objective and the right result. So why? Because that will reflect on you, will reflect on your personality, and you will be more happy and you will be more rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I want to go for, I have only, I think, 3 to 4 minutes left. So I want to go fastly with, like, let's say we are going to have a case study which is between socialism and liberalism. So if you see for the last probably century, there is a big kind of ideological either Cold War or fight or between these two ideology, where the socialism was shaped in the Soviet Union and the liberalism was shaped in the United States, and they were always in antagony. And so what is the say of Islam here? So the Islam is the middle, is between them. It gives the right to the individual to prosper, and it gives the right of the community. So it doesn't mean that you are an individual and you are a liberal and you can do a lot of things, but in the same time, there are some limits that you cannot go for it. One of them is the Sharia. You cannot just go and invest in something haram. And this haram is already defined by the Quran al-Kareem. In al-khamr wal-maysar wal-ansab rijsun min amal al-shaytani fajtanibuhu la'allakum tuflihun. So the haram things, you are not allowed to go. That's why? Because it will harm the community. So what is the good about having a business that sells liquors, and then people will buy the liquor, and then they will go and make an accident, and they kill 5 people on the way because he was under drunk mood. So Islam prohibit that from the beginning, which is the golden rule in Islam is prevention better than cure. I will not allow something that will happen harmful down the road by stopping it at the early stage. So the other way is the right of the community. So if you are rich, what is the community right for you? So that's why the Islam comes with the concept of zakat. The concept of zakat is nothing than the best 10%, rich 10% will give to the worst 10% down. So in a way or another, you push everything to the middle. So there is no under poverty, and there is no rich becoming richer and poor becoming poorer. So Islam doesn't recognize this formula. Islam recognizes that you are free to do the good, but in the same time, the community has, and the poor class, they have a right on you. You have to give the zakat, and if everybody gives the zakat, this layer of poor will uplift a little bit, and that's in a way or another, nobody will be under the poverty. So Islam solved the poverty problem in the world, and version like nowadays we see 1/3 of the world, they are under poverty. Why? Because there is no balance, because there is no just distribution of the good of the world on the nations. That's what makes people poor, and that's what, in a way or another, if a nation is poor, it's because the others are very rich. That's what is causing the problems and the wars on the water, on the minerals, on all this stuff. So the just system is the one that think about the whole world and distribute the wealth in a just way where everybody will flourish, where everybody will be happy, where everybody will, and in the same time, it's engaging people to work hard and to have their own wealth and to create something and invest something to get and to be richer also. So Islam is not against being rich, and the proof of it is that Sayyidina Uthman ibn Affan, when he was in he financed the Ghazwat Badr, and Sayyidina Abdurrahman ibn Auf, when he immigrated from Mecca to Medina, the first thing he does is, and then even a Sahabi, he came to him and he told him, I want to split my house with you. He told him, keep your house, keep your spouse, just show me the market. That shows me that I want to rely on myself and on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to build my own wealth. And then after that, he became one of the biggest contributors to the Muslim in the Medina at the time of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the other way is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran also it tells us that وَلَا تَجْعَلْ يَدَكَ مَغْلُولَةً إِلَىٰ عُنُقِكَ وَلَا تَبْسُطْهَا كُلَّ الْبَسْطِ فَتَقْعُدْ مَلُومًا مَحْسُورًا. So even in the contribution, in the causes, in buying things, in going to whatever the market, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in interacting with people, in helping the people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, teaching us a good rule that and do not make your hand to be shackled to your neck, nor stretch it for the utmost limit of its stretching forth, lest you should afterwards sit down, blame it, strip it off. So don't put all your money and invest and throwing your money left and right, and in the same time don't be tight, and in a way or another don't be a stingy to not give to the people or not help the people around you. So it's a limit. Is bringing you to the middle. So the whole Islamic civilization, the whole Islam and Quran and the teaching of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is to think in the middle, to start bringing things to the middle. Neither go left, neither go too far left, too far right, or too far extremes. That in every shape or form in your life, as a student, as a parent, as a spouse. So the thinking of the middle is the thinking of the nation of Islam, and that's what the Quran teaches, and that's what Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam teaches. وَالَّذِينَ أَنفَقُوا لَمْ يُسْرِفُوا وَلَمْ يَقْتُرُوا وَكَانَ بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ قَوَامًا. And the people, on those who, when they spend, do not excessively or sparingly, but are ever between that. So in a way or another, you have to be moderate between when you give and when you take. So in between that, you should not go to the extreme. That's the teaching of the Quran. That's the teaching of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I think I am done. The Zoom is done. Sorry. Just I want to wish you a happy Eid for the whole community. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. جزاكم الله خير. السلام عليكم, and see you next Wednesday إن شاء الله. بارك الله فيكم.